Hi everyone, welcome to another video. This is gonna be another continuation of like my trying new makeup stuff. Okay, I adjusted the camera angle and I like that a lot more. I am gonna be trying on more new makeup and we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna continue working on the Pat McGrath collection. We're gonna attack the quad. I also got a new kitten. I am just gonna go ahead and show and demo this, particularly the highlighter. I'm gonna use the DOMINIQUE primer. I don't know what I'm gonna do when I run out of this because I have yet to really run into a primer that's similar, and I don't think her current primer is gonna be similar enough. So I'm kind of at a loss of what to do once I run out of this. Probably just like cry or something, you know? The pimple party on my nose is finally starting to clear up, so now I just have to wait for all the dark spots to fade. Jaclyn under eye primer. I'm gonna mix the Beauty Blender Bounce Foundation in 1.3 with the Shiseido Synchro Skin Glow in Neutral 1. I wish I had this in Golden 1, but it just I guess it was only ever available in Asia. I never found it, and now this is completely discontinued. This is the first foundation I ever bought. I haven't really gotten rid of it just because of the nostalgia, honestly, but it is a great mixer, so I do keep it around for that. The 1.3 is bit too dark and yellow, and this is like super pink, so like I know it said that it's neutral, but lies, it actually runs really pink, which is surprising. Most neutral foundations tend to run really warm. The last time I used the Beauty Blender foundation, I used it with a sponge that I had only dampened with some setting spray because I forgot to go to the sink and I was too lazy to go get up and go all the way back to the sink. That was a mistake. It didn't really lay on as well as I thought it would, and it wasn't super full coverage, so I'm using a completely wet sponge this time. I actually remembered, go me. Also adding in that Shiseido foundation, this suddenly is going onto my skin really well. Wow. The only reason I have kept this around, and I mentioned this in one of my mini review roundup thingies, the staying power of this foundation is actually kind of mind-blowing. Because the day that I wore this was the day my AC died, so it got really hot and really humid in the house, and you can see it in my vlog footage that my skin literally looked the exact same after wearing this for like 8 or 9 hours, which I thought was just like unreal. Definitely gonna be a new mixture that I'm gonna favor. JX Professional Triple Concealer, pretty standard. I've been trialing this flower nose thing. I just used this in a recent video, using it again. I'm gonna set my face with the setting spray. This is just my usual. I like don't use anything else anymore. And then I'm gonna set my face with a loose powder from Shiseido. It's a good one for my dry skin days, so I quite like it. I am just stamping it on with a REPHR brush. This is from the holiday collection. And comparing the price of, for example, a Sonia G face brush to the per brush price of these, it's actually pretty comparable. I always forget how expensive face brushes are. So with that being in mind, personally, as far as face brushes are concerned, I would recommend Sonia G or like Hakuhodo or something. But if you like the shape of this brush, or if you like the shape of this brush, obviously that's going to be more of a REPHR thing, because, you know, REPHR does have some pretty interesting shapes, which I do quite like. The only thing about Sonia G is you really have to treat her brushes like your baby. My REPHR brushes at this point have been through quite some serious abuse, and they, as long as you dry them with brush guards, they turn out fine. Whereas my Sonia G brushes, I like panic that I'm gonna like destroy them or something because they're so soft. So that's like the only real downside to like the softer brushes, but yeah, this is fine, honestly. I actually quite like it. So don't take my opinion as like authoritative or anything. Please don't. My eyelids are pretty dry today, so I'm just using Revolution Prime and Lock. As I've mentioned before, I think this is really great versus some of the other things I've purchased before in eye primer territory that are like way more expensive, and so I was definitely a little more irritated when I ended up not liking them. And now I'm just gonna use the brow definer in the shade Ebony to do my eyebrows really quickly. I'm gonna use the NYX Lift and Snatch Brow Pen in black, fill in my brows. I love this brow pen, and this is so affordable, so I definitely can super recommend this. Alright, now we're gonna dive into the Pat McGrath Labs. This is Deep Space Divinity is what it's called, and I will go ahead and run a comparison for you guys because I know this has been running the rounds, but I don't actually really think they're that similar. I think the Interstellar Icon is more similar, honestly, to one corner of the NARS Climax palette, which I do really want. I think that's what you can compare it more to. There are swatches comparing these, so you can look them up yourself if you want, but here's what they look like. They honestly are like not the same at all, so yeah, they're really not the same. The only difference, of course, is going to be those pan sizes, which I know a lot of people have been bringing up the change in the amount of product. Obviously, I'm never going to pan an eyeshadow, so I don't care. So I'm going to start off with this shade, and then I'm going to use this shade. And yeah, we'll see what we go from there. I'm still really tired, so if I like just sound like I'm like half spaced out, it's probably because I am. That's really pretty. And I know it's very basic, but it is really pretty. Alright, now let's try this duochrome. Ooh, this is pretty too. She always gets me every time with these colors. I did get a teeny bit of fallout, so I'll try and dust that off later. So that creates a very pretty gradient. I definitely like how this is looking. I like how this looks. I haven't done an all shimmer look in a little bit, so it's nice to do one again. Okay, I'm just gonna take that duochrome and stamp it on the outer corner of my lower lash line. Okay, I really like how this is looking so far. So I'm gonna take the brightest shade up here. I'm gonna put this on the inner corner. I personally find this shade looks really similar to the one that I laid down initially. Like I don't really, they're definitely different. Like you can tell they're different, but at the same time, I don't feel like there's enough distinguishing them that they needed to both be in the same quad. I do feel like this year's quads feel a little bit less thought out than last year's. Like using these two quads only makes me want to go back and pick up the ones I missed more, kind of a deal. So I'm waiting for a Black Friday sale. I used Icicle last time and I loved it a lot, so I'm gonna use it again because I think it will make for the perfect addition to my lower lash line, just like with the last look. I do intend to demo the other two colors eventually. I just have been really enjoying Icicle for the time being. And like, I actually, like it feels so cooling and relaxing to put on too. It almost feels like I'm putting on a cool eye cream or something. I know that has no bearing on the quality of the product, but just a nice little detail. Okay, and now I am going to go into this face palette here. Here's what it looks like, and I think I'm able, thanks to the shades I have on my lids, I'm gonna do a gradient of both blushes, and then I'll use the highlighter. I have a feeling the highlighter is gonna be too dark based on many reviews and swatches I've seen, so a little bit nervous. Pretty sure it's not gonna work, but I'm gonna try it as an inner corner. I will see if I can do that. So I'm gonna work with Divine Rose, which is the pinky one here. I'm gonna put this on the outer portion of my face. Now I've never used this formula before, so I don't know how pigmented it is. So I'm just using a fairly loose brush with a kind of flatter paddle shape. I think it builds up really nicely. Miso is climbing the curtains. Ooh, this is a really nice formula. I haven't tried her blushes yet. I figured they'd be good and pretty nice. Does build up nice and slow with a fluffy brush, which is what I prefer. I sometimes lose control when I'm working with more pigmented blushes, so when it's buildable like this, it means it's a lot easier for me to distribute without screwing up completely. I'm not so sure what Miso thinks is behind the curtains. There's nothing up there. And now I'm gonna flip to the other side of the brush and I'm gonna go into Desert Orchid, which is the orangey-ish color, and I'm going to create a gradient blush effect. I like how Golden Nectar is orange, but it's like super toned down so that it almost looks beige, but then it's too orange to be beige. It's like at that nice midpoint. I'm just putting this in the center of my cheeks. It also has a slight glow to it. This is not completely matte. I could see this working as like a blush that you put on instead of bronzer. Miso has the zoomies. I'm not sure what started it. And that's what the two blushes look like together. These are beautiful and work really well together, so I'm not disappointed at all. I'm so glad I have this. This is definitely one of those blushes where it just could go with anything. This is a very easy pink for me. That's a very easy orange for me. It's glowy, so not necessarily perfect for all situations, but it's looking really nice. So now I'm gonna try this highlighter. I have my hunches, so we'll see. Totally picked up way too much. Definitely pretty powdery. So I'm just gonna pick up a little bit. Yeah, this is something that I only can get away with because I had blush on top, which is fine. You know, I usually wear blush, so if this only works as a blush topper, I don't know how restrictive that is, considering I basically always have blush on. It's not pink, which is the nice part, because I don't really like pink highlighters, but it's more slightly warm, hence the name. Honestly, it is quite nice. It's a shame it wouldn't work on my nose because this is a really nice formula. I did want to get her Lunar nude one, the pretty one. Like, I've missed out on all of her special limited edition highlighters now because, you know, the other two are sold at this point, but it's really just purely because of price. I can't. I wish, but I couldn't. Alright, I'm gonna take this highlighter and use it on my inner corners. I think this will make for a great inner corner highlight for my eyeshadow. Yep, there you go. It's actually a similar color to that eyeshadow in the quad, it's just a lot more intense. Yeah, now my eye look is a little bit more amped up, which is kind of the way I like it. Now, given that I cannot use that highlighting shade on my nose or my chin or anything, I'm gonna use Becca Moonstone to just kind of finish up my face. Rip Becca, but some of their products are back, so it's not so bad. So this is what it's looking like right now. It's pretty nice, I like it. As I said, I feel like these two quads didn't feel like there was as much thought put into them. They don't feel quite finished. I feel like both quads had like one shade I would have rather taken out and put a different one in. That's what it feels like to me, so to say I'm not disappointed would be a lie. I like them still, but I definitely think Interstellar Icon is like way better. Like, if you look at this, there's no comparison. If you haven't got these yet and you were thinking about them, sale or pass. I don't really think you necessarily are missing out on the world by not having them. A lot of money for me to spend to tell you this, but I like them. For some reason, I like get really like, I feel like happy when I look at her quads for some reason, whatever. It's stupid. I'm shallow, whatever. But like that's really the highest praise I can offer it, is that the quality of the shadows is absolutely solid, and so as a result, it looks fine. I'm just like, it's fine, and that because it's Pat McGrath, that feels disappointing to me. These would look a lot better with false lashes, but I'm lazy and it's 8:30 and I wish I could get a week off work, but I can't. So I'm just gonna put on some mascara and call it a day. I do need to book a lash lift eventually. Today I'm gonna use my PERIPERA ink Black Cara in volume, and I'm gonna use my 2 mascara trick that I've been using a lot recently, but first I'm gonna use this just because I do want a little more volume. I feel like this one makes my lashes look a lot longer than the other one does too. So I kind of want to try the Clio mascara in the lengthening version to see if that gives even more length than this one does. I'm gonna let that work on drying, and I'll do my lower lashes next. I just need it to dry enough to set the curl. Again, my lower lash line is not super intense on the eyeshadow, so I don't need to stack the mascara on my lower lash line. I just need to put on enough that they'll show up. Alright, now I'm gonna start applying very generous layers of mascara to my upper lashes, see if I can make them look thicker and longer. I especially want them to look more voluminous and thick at the base, so I focus a lot of it there as well. You can see how long I managed to get them. Definitely not bad. I'm gonna take just a little bit of black eyeliner, Urban Decay Perversion Waterproof eyeliner. I'm just gonna draw, and I'm just gonna elongate my eyes, just like a little teeny baby wing. This is a really great way to enhance any eye look if you have monolids. If you want to wear eyeliner without it being super thick, is to just block in the tail and literally just kind of extend the natural shape of your eyelids like this. Just like that. Do you see how small my wing is? And do you see how I don't even line the inner part of my eyelid? I just do the outside part. So we're gonna move straight on to lips. I bought 2 lip liners from Jaclyn Cosmetics. I don't have swatches of her lip liners, which sucks, so I had to buy these more or less blind. But I was looking for a lip liner that would be slightly lighter than the actual color of my lips. So I bought Cupcake. I'll swatch these for you guys so that you guys can have a source. I bought Cupcake and I bought Blondie, and here's what they look like here. You can see Cupcake on top is more pink and Blondie on bottom is more beige. So I'm gonna try Blondie today, and if that doesn't work, I'll try Cupcake next. I don't see why this wouldn't work. Like, I don't see why it wouldn't work, so we'll see. Basically, I was looking for a color lighter than Fawn. I feel like Fawn is darker sometimes. This formula is also a little bit more firm than Fawn and also than M Cosmetics and also ColourPop. I feel like that makes it easier to use, and I can get a really precise line. And it's not super pigmented, so if you're into the blurred lip trend like me, where it's like your lip line is kind of undefined, this is going to be really good at achieving that because it's not going to create a really defined super pigmented line. And I'll go ahead and swatch lip liner in Fawn, and I'll swatch ColourPop in another round so you guys can see the comparisons. Here's my lip liners. Here is Cupcake, that's Blondie, this is Fawn, and it actually is a little bit lighter on my hand, but on my lips Fawn is very pigmented and creamy, so it comes off looking darker. This is Kitten, and then this is another round from ColourPop. This is the darkest lip liner I have. So you can see this is my range of lip liners that I own in my collection currently, and I think Blondie's really great. I don't know if I'm gonna like Cupcake, but I think Blondie's pretty good so far. I'm gonna be using the Roman Zero Velvet Tint in 19 Earl Grey Shaw. It is this color here. This is from a winter collection which had a bunch of extremely deep and intense colors. For frame of reference, here's 19, 20, and 21 all together, and you can see how deep it goes. I thought this was really... I love a good deep color in the winter. Simple eyes, bold deep lip is definitely my favorite winter look. So I'm just gonna put this on. I think the warm redness will definitely suit the duochrome eyeshadow I have on right now. My lips are a little bit dry because I forgot to wear a lip mask last night. Matte's probably not the best option for me right now, but whatever. And now you can see the lip liner is really pretty. And I just put on another layer on the inner part. This might be a little bit too saturated, but I think it looks fine otherwise. Yeah, the saturation's a little bit higher than I anticipated. I haven't used this color in a while, so. But other than that, I think it looks fine. And I really need to retrim my bangs because I didn't cut them evenly. Is anyone surprised? But other than that, this is going to be my finished look. I think it looks really nice, definitely very simple. Again, I've not been on a super complicated kick recently. Love that face palette, definitely going to be something I take with me when I travel because the two blush colors in there would match any look that I would possibly wear. The only shame is the highlighter, but if I wear it on top of blush, I can get away with it, so it's not a total loss. Other than that, I like it. You know, it turned out nice, it looked nice, it doesn't look Pat McGrath, but it looks nice. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed a chill makeup play session. The next coming videos hopefully will deal with the Pat McGrath palette. I might deal with a couple more products. We'll see. I have so much to film. I'll see what I can do. I will do my utmost best. My laziness is absolutely catching up to me. I have no excuses other than I just have been so tired. But yeah. I will catch you guys very soon. Bye!